So today I'm going to read you an extract from The Great Brain Robbery. So that is what the front cover of this book looks like. And this has been written by P.G. Bell and illustrated by Flavia Sorrentino. So we are going to be reading a small section of this. Remember, that's what an extract means. So it's not a full chapter or a full part of the text. It's just a flavour to get us interested and see if it's something that we would like to continue reading. So remember, we spoke about illustrated the other day. It meant that it's who has done all of the fantastic pictures to go alongside our text. So in this one, there are no pictures in the extract that I'll be reading, so I won't show you anything, but you can just listen along to whether it's something that interests you. So we've got Susie's rucksack was packed and ready and hidden under her bed. She pulled it out and hurriedly double-checked the contents. She had a water bottle, a notebook and a pen, a towel, a small first aid kit, but most importantly, she had a large book bound in dark red leather. Its cover was scarred and pitted with several deep slashes running across it, but the title, embossed in gold, was still legible. The Knowledge and Instructional Handbook for Impossible Postal Operatives. She pulled it out and flipped it open to the handwritten dedication on the title page. Dear Susie, no one ever became a postie without a copy of the Knowledge to hand, so I've sent you mine. Take its words to heart and they won't let you down. It's also thick enough to use as a shield against angry Triperian bowmen, in case you are wondering about the state of the cover. See you soon. Sincerely, Wilmot. As always, Susie smiled at the words. Wilmot was a troll, who was also her boss, the postmaster of the Impossible Postal Express, and her best friend, and she had missed him more than anyone else these past 2 months. The book, like all her correspondence with the impossible places, had magically appeared on the doorstep one morning, probably via a remote spell of some sort. She knew it couldn't have been delivered by hand, as the express was out of action, but all that was about to change. She flipped through the book until she found her invitation, kept flat between the central pages. It was printed on thick cream-coloured paper in elaborate looping handwriting. It read, His Trolltanic Majesty, King Aulium III, ruler of Troll territory, cordially invites you to attend the relaunch of the Impossible Postal Express at platform 100 of Grindling Holt Station, Trollville. Formal dress required. She replaced both the invitation and the book in her bag and hurried to her wardrobe, throwing the doors wide. It was stuffed full of winter coats, old jumpers and shoes, but she reached through them, feeling for the secret hanger she had suspended from a nail right at the back. She found it and pulled out a uniform of smart red felt and glimmering gold brocade. She paused to pick up a bit of fluff off the sleeve of its long coat and ran her thumb down the lettering of the badge pinned to its lapel. The Impossible Postal Express, Deputy Postal Operative. Susie changed quickly and took a moment to soak up the feeling of finally being in her postal uniform. It felt very good indeed. The uniform consisted of black trousers with gold piping down the seams, a white shirt with a red waistcoat, and a red greatcoat that fell to her knees. The coat had the same gold piping as the trousers, large circular gold buttons embossed with the Impossible Postal Service crest, and satisfying large pockets. There was also a red cap with a black peak, and last of all, black boots. After a moment's thought, she left the boots in the wardrobe and instead pulled on her trainers, which were also black. They were more comfortable than the boots, and on her last visit to the impossible places, Susie had done a lot of running, mostly for her life. It certainly beats pyjamas and slippers, she thought. Susie had barely laced up her trainers when there was a knock at the door, and Fletch let himself in without waiting to be asked. Ready to go and be a postie, he said. Susie shouldered her rucksack and gave him an enormous grin. Absolutely. Susie could feel the excitement running through her as she followed Fletch downstairs and along the hall to the cupboard under the stairs. Here we go, he said. What, in there? She said, surprised. The cupboard was small and crammed full of cleaning equipment and spiders. At least it had been, because when Fletch opened the door, she saw a dark and cavernous space, as big as her school assembly hall. It was lit by a lamp standing on an old-fashioned pump cart. a simple rectangular platform on wheels, powered by a large seesaw handle mounted in the middle, which in turn stood on a pair of tracks that ran through the dark opening of a tunnel mouth ahead of them. "I made a few adjustments," said Fletch, starting towards this pump cart. "You know how it is." As an interdimensional engineer for the Troll Railways, it was Fletcher's job to lay new tracks when they were needed. Sometimes that meant squeezing them, and the trains that they carried into spaces that were never designed to take them. In those cases, a little stretching of the local dimensions was called for. This was all possible thanks to physics, the strange collision of science and magic that lay behind the troll technology. "At least you couldn't take over with the whole hallway this time," Susie said, climbing up to the pump cart with him. "Yeah, well," he said, "I'm being discreet." Fletch released the brake and the cart began rolling towards the tunnel mouth. "Next stop, Trollville," he said, giving Susie a wink. Susie trembled with excitement from her cap to her trainers. After 2 months of waiting, she was finally heading back to the Union of Impossible Places. So that's an extract from The Great Brain Robbery, as I said, written by P.G. Bell. So that book was released last April, so April 2020. So it will be available if you wanted to go and have a look. So I'm sure you'll be able to find it online somewhere if you wanted to order it. But again, another exciting one that obviously they're going to go to different lands and things. So obviously, if you like that one, let me know. And hopefully you'll let me know if you've ordered it as well. So obviously tomorrow we'll be reading a different extract from a different text. I'll see you then.